All right, you guys, I want to talk to you in this clip about how to create the future life that you actually want to live, one that you love and cherish, not one that you need to escape from like most people. Most people really look forward to Fridays and they hate Mondays. Most people use the weekend to check out, right? They're eating a bunch of shitty food. They're over consuming drugs and alcohol. They're just sleeping in. They're trying to escape from the life that they've created, okay? Most people are not living a life that they love and cherish. I've been so blessed and so fortunate to wake up every day loving the life that I'm living. I'm so grateful for my life. I never feel like I'm going to work or doing stuff I don't want to do. Everything I'm doing are things that I love, that I'm passionate about, that I enjoy, things that I can grow in, things that I can use my creative mind and my energy and things that allow me to feel alive, things that allow me to feel that I love my life. But it wasn't always this way. For many years, I was that person escaping my reality. For many years, I was using drugs and alcohol to numb out certain feelings. For many years, I was distraught and upset and angry, and I did not love the life that I was living. So what changed for me is when I was finally honest with myself. I had to get honest with myself about what my heart was calling me to do and who I really wanted to be. That was the first step. Now, if you want to really understand how to go about this, I'd highly recommend that you watch a current documentary on Netflix about Arnold Schwarzenegger's life. It's amazing. It's fascinating. He describes in great detail what it was like growing up as a young boy in Austria after World War II. The Austrians had just lost in World War II. So all the men were dejected. They had PTSD. The morale of the country was very low and depressing. This is the place that he grew up in. And he knew that he didn't want to be like his dad or all the other men. He didn't want to just live on this farm in Austria. And he didn't want to be there. He wanted to get out of there. He wanted a better life. So just being honest with himself and knowing that he wanted more, that was the first step. Now, the thing that really started to change Arnold Schwarzenegger's life was one day he went down to a movie in the city, away from the farms. He went down to a little town and watched a movie at the theater with a friend. And on the poster outside of the movie theater, he saw Reg Park. Reg Park played in a Hercules movies back then. He was a bodybuilder. They had found him in Rome. Now he was famous. He was traveling all over the world. He was doing movies. And Arnold said, I want to be like that. I want to look like that guy. He was drawn and attracted to the guy's physique, his confidence, his demeanor, everything about him. And this is really important because once you start recognizing that you want a different life or you want something more for yourself, you're going to start to take little bits and pieces from your environment, different people, things you see on social media, people you see in the movies, whatever it is, family members, friends, little bits and pieces about how they're living, and you start to formulate your own ideas or your own vision of who you want to be. This is so key. Okay, this is so key, and that's what Arnold Schwarzenegger did. Then the next thing he did was every day, all of his thoughts, all of his actions aligned him to becoming that person. And what I mean by that is he started working out every day. He was building up his physique. He put pictures on the walls in his room of other bodybuilders because he wanted that motivation and inspiration every time he looked at his wall. And his mom even thought that he was gay. She questioned why he put pictures up of men on his wall when all the other boys his age had pinup photos of women. And he was just obsessed with his vision. He said that every night he would just lay in his bed and think about the life that he wanted to create, the life that he wanted to live. And he started cultivating this vision and getting this clarity as to who he was becoming. And he said something very important. He said, look, without clarity, you're never going to achieve the goals that you want in life. Without clarity, you're never going to reach that apex, that full potential that we all possess. And this is so important for everybody to recognize. If you have a truth inside of you about who you want to be and what you want to achieve, that's the path that you must trust and believe in. The other path leads to mediocrity. The other path leads to hating Monday morning. The other path leads to working all day long just to get to Friday so you can check out and numb yourself and try to escape reality from the life that you created. That's most people. That's society right now. That's the masses. They're suffering, they're struggling, they're creating lives that they hate because they don't have the courage to go after the truth that they possess in their heart. So if you want to be different, if you want to create a life that you love and cherish, if you want to wake up every day and say, yes, I'm so grateful I get to live this life, and you want to have the most amazing experiences, the best relationships, you want to travel, you want to make money, you want to create something with your mind, with that vision that's a tangible reality for you that you can now touch, pay attention, okay? It starts with being honest with yourself about what that calling in your heart is. Whatever it is for you, it's unique for everybody. What's that feeling, right? It's a feeling initially. Sometimes you don't even have clarity, but you have to ask yourself, what are the next steps I need to take to move towards this unknown, right? How can I align myself and my thoughts and my actions every day to move towards this life, this creation that I want to live and exist in? Sometimes it's about getting rid of your toxic friends. Sometimes it's about going to the gym and working out. Sometimes it's about quitting that 9 to 5 and doing something different. Like, you know what you need to do. Most of you are just scared to do it, and that's why you stay stuck. So the coolest thing happens over time. Listen to this. The longer that you take action, the more that you align yourself to that feeling, your whole world starts to change. You start to get clarity. Your vision starts to get more clear. And all of these opportunities and new doors and new pathways will emerge for you. I'm living proof. I made a decision in a jail cell while I was facing life in prison that I was going to change my life, that I was going to be the person my heart was calling me to be, because I knew what that other path led to. It was despair. It was misery. It was nearly losing my life. It was living a life that I hated and tried to escape every chance that I got. I didn't want to live that way anymore. I wanted to find out what was in this unknown. What could I create? Who could I become? That's what started me on this path. 12 years later, I'm literally living the life of my dreams. In the midst of that journey, all the pieces started to come together. All the details of my vision started to converge. I saw myself being a family man. I saw myself with a wife and kids. I saw myself being a coach. I saw myself speaking on stage. I saw myself being an author. All of these visions and ideas started to come to me until I had a crystal clear, vivid image of who I wanted to become, who my heart was calling me to be, in the life that I would create. And I'm living that life right now because all of my thoughts and all of my actions align me to that person, right? And that's exactly what Arnold Schwarzenegger describes in his documentary, how the right people just came into his life. The right opportunities just appeared. And on his part, he was giving his best effort every day. He was being honest with himself, and he was doing everything he could to move towards that vision or that feeling that he had inside of him. But the most amazing thing happens is these things start to be drawn to you, these opportunities, these relationships, these people, because you're changing who you are. You're living in alignment with that feeling inside of you. This is the hardest thing for people to understand. They're like, yeah, Sean, that sounds crazy. That won't work. Have you fucking tried it? Have you lived that way? You haven't. You're that person that's living over here. You've settled. You've made excuses. You're holding back. Who are you to tell me what's possible? Do you see where I come from? Broken home, drug-addicted parents, life in prison, wasting my life, nearly losing my life to the life of my dreams. It works, and I'm living proof. But you have to find out for yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to be courageous enough to take action, and you must never quit and give up. And if you follow that path and you do what I'm telling you right now in this clip, I promise you, you're going to get to a point where you go, oh my God, this is my life. I love my life. I cherish my life. I created this life. I didn't quit and give up on myself. I'll never quit. I'll never give up. You have to cut my head off and burn my body into ashes before I quit and give up on this purpose that's been placed in my heart. That's why I'm successful. Who are you?